In Roman times, there is a massive population, over 1 million, all in the one city of Rome. It is therefore very overcrowded. Crime was very common because of this, and buildings were all made of wood, creating a huge fire risk which was taken incredibly seriously. There was a massive division between rich and poor. Laws were set out originally in the 12 tables, which children learnt by heart. Laws were very specific and were designed to deal with just about everything. That also meant they were very complex, so in AD 533, Emperor Justinian simplified them. In the empire, legions maintained law and order. They dealt harshly with opposition. Local, original systems and Roman systems could run side by side, and you were allowed to be a member of either. However, Romans tried to bribe people onto their side. In Roman times, theft was very common, and they were very worried about fighting and rebellion, particularly in these overcrowded cities. As already mentioned, they were also fearful of fire because of the overcrowding and the wooden buildings. Minor things, such as not keeping the streets clean or selling underweight bread, were also taken incredibly seriously. Betraying or trying to assassinate the emperor is also very, very serious. Murder, however, is rare. Punishments were harsh as a deterrent. For example, arson, you were burnt at the stake. Think, you burn us, we burn you. Robbing temples meant execution. Lesser crimes were dealt with fines, whipping, confiscation of property, or enslavement. Killing a significant male, such as your father, grandfather, or brother, was called patricide. Doing this would lead you to being put in a bag of snakes and thrown into a river. If a slave killed their master, all the slaves in that house would die. Christians and other non-Roman religions would also die. Christians, for example, in the Colosseum. If you deserted as a legionary or ran away from battle, you could expect decimation. That's where you and every other 10th person in your legion would be killed. As I say, these were as deterrents. There was no police. However, in AD 6, Emperor Augustus set up the Vigils, who were basically firemen, the urban cohort, who were army who dealt with riots, the Praetorian Guard, who protected the empire, and the aediles, who dealt with local misdemeanours, such as dirty streets and underweight bread. Rich people could also pay for bodyguards. However, this was not a luxury enjoyed by the poor. In Roman times, all citizens were supposedly equal before the law, but nobles could pay for lawyers and people to catch criminals for them, and they could bribe judges, and they could get lenient sentences. Slaves, who were not considered citizens, were tortured before giving evidence. If you wanted to get someone to court, you had to get them there yourself, and magistrates and juries dealt with crimes like they do today.